You've been told to stand your ground, defend your views, fight back, but the Stoics knew true strength lies in the stone that does not argue. Why does the river never resent the stone? It crashes against it daily. It is diverted, slowed, sometimes split in two. Yet it never curses the rock. It never demands the stone move. It simply flows, around, over, beneath, and continues its journey to the sea. You are not the river. You are not meant to rage against every obstacle with fury and noise. You are also not the wind, howling at injustice until your voice breaks. No. You are invited to be the stone. Not cold. Not indifferent. But unmoved by what does not belong to you. This is not passivity. This is precision. The Stoics did not preach surrender, they taught discernment. There is what is yours, your judgments, your actions, your will. And there is what is not, the opinions of others, the weather, traffic, betrayal, loss, the past. To argue with what is not yours is to waste your soul on phantoms. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his private journal, "Not for fame, but for clarity, if anyone can refute me and show me I am mistaken in thought or deed, I shall gladly change. For I seek the truth, and no one was ever harmed by it." Notice, he welcomes correction. But he does not beg for agreement. He does not exhaust himself convincing senators who refuse to listen. He tends his own mind like a garden. He lets fools be fools. In your life today, the stone appears as the coworker who takes credit for your idea. As the partner who speaks harshly after a long day. As the algorithm that buries your post while elevating nonsense. Your instinct screams, defend. Explain. Prove them wrong. And so you do. Again and again. Until your energy leaks out like sand through fingers. Until you mistake exhaustion for virtue. But what if you stopped arguing with reality? Not denying it. Not pretending it isn't painful. But ceasing the inner war against what already is. The stone does not deny the river exists. It simply refuses to become water. Seneca, exiled by an emperor's whim, wrote letters from a remote island off Italy. He could have spent years drafting appeals, plotting revenge, rehearsing speeches in his head. Instead, he studied birds. He walked the cliffs. He wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." His exile did not vanish. But his suffering did, because he stopped arguing with fate. He accepted the stone of his circumstance and let his spirit flow around it. Acceptance is not approval. It is acknowledgement. You can hate that your flight was cancelled and still choose not to scream at the gate agent. You can grieve a friendship's end without demanding the other person see your pain. You can feel the sting of unfairness and still refuse to let it dictate your next move. This is the quiet rebellion of the Stoic, to hold your center while the world spins. Modern life trains us to argue constantly, with strangers online, with algorithms, with time itself. We refresh feeds hoping reality changed in 3 seconds. We rehearse comebacks we'll never say. We carry grievances like heirlooms, polishing them daily. But every argument with what cannot be changed is a theft, from your peace, your presence, your power. The stone does not argue because it knows its nature. It is solid. It is here. It does not need permission to exist. And neither do you. Consider this, when you argue with someone who has no interest in truth, who are you really trying to convince? Often, it's yourself. You're trying to prove you matter. That your pain counts. That you were seen. But the need for external validation is a bottomless well. The stone does not ask the river for recognition. It simply is. Let's return to Marcus. At age 40, ruling an empire plagued by plague, war, and betrayal, he wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside, and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you." He did not say, "Make them understand." He said, "See them clearly, and release the need for their verdict." This is the practice: look without flinching. See the fear behind their anger. See the insecurity beneath their arrogance. See the child still trembling inside the adult who hurt you. And then, do nothing. No rebuttal. No performance. Just understanding, and silence. Silence is not weakness. It is space. Now, how do you become the stone? Not by hardening your heart, that is armor, not strength. The stone is not armored, it is simply itself. Unadorned. Unapologetic. Present. Start small. Next time someone cuts you off in traffic, notice the urge to honk, to glare, to curse. Then breathe. Let the moment pass. You are not diminished by their haste. When a friend cancels plans last minute, feel the disappointment, but skip the lecture about reliability. Say, "No worries," and tend to your own evening. Your peace is more valuable than their explanation. Online, when outrage floods your feed, close the app. Do not engage the phantom. The stone does not shout into the void expecting echo. These are not acts of surrender. They are acts of sovereignty. Another exercise: each evening, write down one thing that happened today that you argued with internally. Maybe it was rain ruining your walk. Maybe it was a critical email. Beside it, write, "This was not mine to control." Then add, "What was mine?" Perhaps it was your response. Your breath. Your choice to rest instead of ruminate. This simple ritual rewires your focus, from the outer storm to your inner compass. Remember Seneca's birds? He didn't wait for exile to end to find joy. He found it in the present texture of his life, the cry of gulls, the salt air, the rhythm of tides. You too can find dignity in what remains, even when much is taken. Beware the subtle trap: thinking acceptance means you must stay in harmful situations. The stone does not argue, but it also does not invite erosion. If a relationship drains your spirit daily, acceptance means seeing that clearly, and then acting. Leaving is not arguing with the person, it is honoring your nature. Stoicism is not martyrdom. It is clarity followed by courage. The stone endures, but it also chooses its place. It does not roll into the fire willingly. So distinguish: what must you accept? What must you change? Accept the coworker's pettiness. Change your exposure to it. Accept that grief comes in waves. Change how you meet it, with tea and silence, not distraction and denial. This is wisdom in motion. You may worry: if I stop arguing, will I become invisible? Will injustice win? Consider this: the most enduring forces in nature make no sound. Gravity does not debate. Light does not negotiate. The earth rotates without asking permission. Your quiet integrity is more powerful than 1,000 shouted protests aimed at the wrong audience. True influence flows from being unshakable, not from being loud. Marcus ruled an empire not by winning every argument, but by embodying reason so consistently that others leaned toward it. Like moths to a steady flame. Your life is your flame. Tend it. Do not waste it chasing shadows. There is a moment in every conflict where you can choose, will I add fuel, or will I be the stone? That moment is tiny. Invisible to others. Monumental for you. In that sliver of time, you reclaim your freedom. Because no one can force you to argue. No one can make you resent. Those choices remain yours alone. And that is where your power lives. Not in changing the river, but in refusing to be swept away by it. Let's return to our opening image. The river flows. The stone rests. Neither wins. Neither loses. They coexist in a dance older than language. The river fulfills its nature by moving. The stone fulfills its nature by abiding. You are allowed to abide. You do not need to fix everyone's misunderstanding of you. You do not need to correct every misstep in real time. You do not need to prove your worth through endless justification. Your worth is inherent, like the stones. It does not depend on the river's opinion. This week, try this: when provoked, pause for 10 full seconds before responding. Breathe. Ask, is this mine to carry? If not, let it fall. You'll be surprised how often the storm passes on its own. Common mistake. Confusing acceptance with indifference. The Stoic feels deeply. Marcus mourned his children. Seneca wept at beauty. But they did not chain their peace to outcomes beyond their control. Feel everything. Argue with nothing. Another pitfall, waiting for perfect stillness before practicing. You won't find it. The river always flows. Start now, in the messy middle. In the noisy office. In the tense family dinner. Be the stone amid the current. It is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming undivided. Imagine your life 5 years from now. What will matter more, that you won every argument, or that you preserved your inner stillness through all of them? The stone outlasts the flood. You've been trained to believe strength is volume, speed, reaction. But the oldest trees grow slowly. The deepest wells are silent. The truest foundations are unseen. Real strength is the ability to be unmoved, not because you don't care, but because you care too much about your own soul to waste it on phantoms. So when the next wave crashes against you, when criticism lands, when plans crumble, when someone misunderstands your heart, remember the stone. Do not argue. Do not shrink. Simply be. Let them flow around you. Your truth does not require their agreement to exist. You are not here to convince the river. You are here to endure, and in enduring, to show others what peace looks like. The river never resents the stone, because the stone never forgets what it is. If any of these ideas resonated, I've linked the books in the description. And neither should you.